All right. Hi, I'm Roger. Today I'm going to show you how to run your saw. First thing you do is grab your trim piece here, measure it, and we got 3.5. So what I need to do is adjust my hopper here back out so the 3.5 will fit in here. By doing that, there's 2 knobs here and 2 knobs on the other side. You just loosen them up, slide them back. And you want about 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch play in here so it could slide down easy. And then you just tighten it up. All right, once we got that set there, up here I got another adjustment here with 2 knobs. And since it's 3.5, and I'm cutting ahead, so it's going to be 45-degree cut on both, I'm going to loosen these 2 knobs, slide it out to 3.5, and lock it up. And then I'm ready to cut my 45-degree angle here. If I'm cutting a 90-degree cut, I would set this at 0, so it just take a minimum amount of cut to cut your leg on the other hand. So then back here now I got, for our 45 clamps, I got a tape that's up on top here. Right now it's reading 2 1/4, and I wanted it to read 3.5, so then coming down, it's clamping on here and pressing against the dog that's feeding the trim forward. So there's a knob right here. You just pull it back to 3.5. Eyeball is close enough. There, and then one on this side too. Tighten it up. One other thing we got to do here is adjust our pieces here. So when you're going to have a stack of trim here feeding down, you want to just, so it just takes one. So you leave like 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, so it just pulls it through. You want to leave at least 1/8 in case the wood is warped a little bit. It won't get caught up here. So all you need is a 1/2 inch wrench. Eyeball it, set it up to there, and not let it fall down on it, and then tighten it up. All right, now I am ready for a cut. All I got to do is turn the saws on, and I'm ready to cut. So I come over to the touch screen over here, and I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to move the carriage out, and then I'll bring it back in. I'll show you how to bring the carriage in and out. So right now I'm going to open it up. So there's a black button over here, okay to move. Oh, I got to download my parameter, and then I'm ready to move it. So it's going to head out there. All right. Okay, so I want to cut my piece of trim 36 and 3/8. So I'll use my cut length over here, 0.375. Check. All right. Now I'm ready to move it back in. So I got it set. I download my parameter. And now I got to wait to move. Now I hit the black button to move the carriage in. It's going to come in, and then when you hear that sound, that means it's you're at your right location. Okay, now we're ready to cut. Now I need to turn my saw blades on. So I come over here. There's a saws off button. You hold it down for like 3 seconds, and it's going to start both saws. All right. I'm going to make one cut, then I'll show you how to put a stack of them in there. All right, here we go. When I hit the foot pedal, it's going to feed the dog in to the next location. Then it's going to retract and feed one more time in. All right. Just feeding out by using the foot pedal. When there's 2 sets of eyes here. I don't put my hand into the saws ring, but there's a photo eye right there. That tells it when there's a piece on both sides of the head over here, the front section feeding forward. When it sees a piece of wood in there, it'll automatically feed in. But once it doesn't see anything, it won't run. And so on your last cut, you're going to have to use the foot pedal. Just step it down to feed the rest of them out. So just to let you know. On this cut, I had it cut 36 3/8, and that measurement is from right here on the inside of the cut, from here to here. That's what we're measuring when we're cutting on here, not the outside, but the inside. We cut 36 3/8. So that's what goes there. So let me show you how to run a full stack then, as I got it set up. All right. You fill our hopper in like this. Main thing when you load them, that the trim is tight against here when you load it up. Okay, I'll load that many so far. So I'm going to turn the saws back on. Okay, when I start cutting here now, I'm going to start feeding these in behind it. As it's cutting, I can just hit the foot pedal once and it'll just start feeding automatically. So here we go. And then then the dog's finished up. I still got pieces in the middle here. I'll just use the start sequence button here to feed out the last two pieces. All right, there you go. If I turn the saws off here, I don't have to rehome the machine every time. So that's kind of nice. Every other emergency stop we got on here, from here, this little stop button here, this one here, one over here, and then the emergency stop here. If I hit those, I got to rehome the machine, start the machine, and return on. That's why I always go over and turn it off there unless you're done for the day. Now, if you lean up against the machine and you push this in, it won't start up until you pull this back out. So, you know, if you can't start your machine, there's always something. There's probably one of these emergency stop buttons pushed in. You just got to go pull it out, and it's ready to go. All right. Now I'm going to show you how to run your miter stop through the saw. First thing you do, whenever you turn the saw on, it's always going to be on wide jam. So you need to hit your miter stop mode. So it'll turn green. Then you want to hit download your parameters. Okay. Then it'll adjust. All right. I want to turn it. I want to cut it. My piece is 32 1/4 inches long. I hit the button here. It'll turn green. Then I hit download again. Okay. At this point, I'd be ready to turn the saws on and start cutting. But real quick, I want to slide over to the middle of the machine here and show you what I did and how to cut miter stop before I turn the saws on. Okay, you want to bring your things almost like 1/2 inch here. So when they hit 45, they're hitting on the back end of your piece to hold them up against this wood. When you're running the miter stop, it's a manual operation. So what you're going to do is take your piece of trim, you're going to slide it over here, wrap it down, and put it in here, okay? And then you hit the start sequence button, then there's clamps, like right here, are gonna come up here, and then one over here, come up and clamp against here, hold it tight. Then it goes in, then it'll do is clamping down on top of the trim, and 45 in, and then it'll kick it out. So I'm going to turn the saws on and move these guys in to 32 1/4, and we should be ready to go. Got it all set here, ready to go. I'm gonna hit the saws on. Okay. You're going to hit the start sequence and it'll take off. Put that in. All right. Turn the saws off. And then that's how we cut the miter stop. Cutting the legs for the miter stop is the same as the regular trim. So right now I will take it and adjust out to the miter stop leg. So I'll hit 0 on the main head here, 45 on that one. Okay. Right now the head will shift to 0. And then I'm going to enter a length in here of 79. hit download on the parameter. Okay, then I'm going to move it out. All right. It saws on. All right, yeah. Then too, when you go to clamp up on these pieces, as soon as the clamps come up, you can let go. All right, turn the saws off. And I'll show you. And there's your piece cut right there. Okay, so now we're done cutting our miter stop and we want to go back to cutting the standard trim. What I would do is turn the power off of the machine. So he's pushing the control transformer. And then turn the air off. The miter stops here once the air comes off. Just slide this forward, and there's two flathead bolts here. And what you want to do is take this one here out and this one out. And there's one on this side and one on that side. So once you unbolt them, we just take them off. Then on the back side of the machine, there's a set of holes back there that can bolt right up to it. Okay, that comes forward. Then you just take it around. You're going to take it like this and tuck it right under here. So yeah, so when I bring the piece around, the holes are right here, bolt up, and then you just got to tighten it up, and it'll sit here while we cut our trim.